You're listening to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Each week, I'm going to be interviewing top realtors from coast to coast to give you a backstage pass on how they've created their amazing real estate empires and how you can copy them. Hi, this is Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Hey, today I'm looking forward to an awesome interview. This is one of my longtime members, Barb Schlinker from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Good morning, Barb, and thank you so much for being here today.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. I'm thrilled.
Hey, how did you first hear about me, and how long have you been a Craig Proctor member?
Actually, I'll never forget, because I remember when I started in real estate, first of all, it was confusing. I came from military aviation background, and there was very little training, and my competitors actually were within my office. So if the rookie, asked them questions, I was annoying them. And
Right.
I found it striking that really it's in our state, it's 1 month of school to get your license, and they're like, go sell, figure it out.
Yeah, there you go. Good luck with it. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's fast forward to today. You've been with me, what, 10 years?
No, it's longer than that. I remember
15?
it was either 2003 or 2004 when I saw your ad in the NAR magazine. It's
Right.
about, we sell 560 some homes a year. And I thought, wow, how is that even possible? So I ordered your kit, and I got your kit, and I kind of paid attention to it. I'm a very high D, so it's hard for me to do that. And then eventually I signed up for the first conference, which I think was in 2004 in Orlando at like an Embassy Suites type hotel. And I was just blown away by what you had to offer. And I remember standing in a long lunch line, which those are really uncommon at conferences. And Lester Cox, another longtime member, was like leaning against the wall, and he had a coaching badge. And I said, do you work buyers or sellers? And he goes, neither.
Yeah, that sounds like Lester.
And I'm like, oh, so you generate leads and have the agents do a lot of the work.
That was the epiphany for you, wasn't it?
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. And so I'm like, I have to do this. And it was scary initially for me, but I got right into it. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
What were you scared of? What were you afraid of?
I kind of thought that maybe my husband wouldn't be too happy about doing this. He wasn't there at the conference with me. He doesn't work in real estate. He's in another career field. So that was one thing. But I guess that was the big fear for me. And it was a good fit for me because when I moved to Colorado Springs, I didn't know anybody. We didn't grow up here.
Right.
I'm a military brat. We traveled all over the place, but my parents happened to be here. So we moved here, and I really didn't have a big, sphere of influence of people. So
Right.
all of my production to the point of joining your system was people mostly that I did not know. In fact, I remember my broker telling me, because I said, how do you get new business? And he goes, oh, pick up the phone book and call. So I did. I actually got one sale out of that. Oh, we're still friends. That was one of my first sales. But
today you don't make any outbound phone calls.
No.
How many homes did you sell last year?
Last year, 150.
150 and no outbound calls. These are all prospects and past clients.
Right.
100% of your business is prospects reaching out to you.
Actually, a majority of it is people that I don't know. We do have repeat and referral clients, but a large majority, and that still continues, are people reaching out to me because of all the great marketing that you teach us to implement.
Okay, so this is what people are going to want to know today. Realtors are going to want to know, how do you do that? Because what you just described is the problem, the reality that we all have when we get into real estate. We don't know what the hell we're doing. We get into the business, we have minimal training. Mostly the training is about what to do once you have a customer, how to fill the paperwork and all the rules, which is important. But the most important thing is, how do I get any customers? So, you did what your broker told you to do, which wasn't much, and, go knock on doors. And then when you met up with me, we introduced you to this wonderful world of direct response marketing, where it's possible to offer what it is that buyers and sellers want to get them coming to you. So now you've got a large business, you've got a team. How many people on your team right now?
I have 4 agents and I have 6 admin, actually. I have 2 virtual assistants and 4 full-time in-house. So.
And you grew your team obviously because you couldn't keep up with the amount of incoming business.
Right.
Okay?
I'm getting to the point where now I'm having a significant overflow for who we have, so I need to add more.
Okay, so watch this intently. If you're in the Colorado Springs area and you want to make more money and work less and focus on selling real estate instead of getting keys cut and all the other nonsense that we fill our day with, you might want to reach out to Barb. We'll give her contact information later in our interview here. But so over 100 transactions. What will this year look like, do you think?
We'll probably end up maybe a little bit more. I'm hoping to get to 180 and about 2 million gross commission income.
Okay, so that's super good. So almost 200 transactions. That's a lot of money. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Okay, this is Barb Schlinker, who I'm interviewing. If you joined us a bit late, she's been a Craig Proctor member now for probably 15 years. And Barb, why do you continue to be a Craig Proctor member? Some people would say, well, why rejoin and stay with Craig for 15 going on 20 years? Why do that?
I stepped out for about 6 months and I regret that. But actually, the whole it takes a long time. You get distracted. There's so many things to do in real estate. There's a lot of balls to juggle. And it takes a long time for me anyway, to implement the systems so that a lot of this works without you. So it was very quickly, we got the lead generation working without me doing anything. People were contacting me right out of the gate. Then you have to follow up, okay? Find out their motivation and timing. And if they are right now business, book them to a face-to-face appointment. So that's not the way most real estate agents work. Typically, they're responding off of maybe an online ad and they go meet the buyer at the house, as an example, for a buyer. And we actually tracked it. We don't close any of those. We have a system for buyers and a system for sellers, and we actually sit down and meet with them. We get them to become our clients, and then we go and perform and help them win their dream home or sell their home for top dollar.
Okay, so everybody, these are big points, golden nuggets. So Barb has a system to generate the leads, a system for following up the leads. She has a listing and buyer presentation, and a complete system once a seller signs a listing agreement or a buyer signs a buyer agreement. Everything is about systems, and that's true for all Craig Proctor high-level members. That's why we call it the Craig Proctor system. Okay, let's start then with the lead generation. Like, are you buying leads from? You're not door knocking, you're not cold calling, you're not begging your friends and relatives for referrals. Most of your business, you said, is coming from strangers. Are you like buying these leads from Zillow or a realtor? How do you get people to call you? Is really what agents want to know.
So no, I don't buy leads from Zillow or realtor. I actually implement a lot of different layers of direct response marketing. We use direct mail. We have an open house system for our new listings. I also market on the radio. I do a lot of stuff on video. I do a lot of stuff on Google. So there's lead generation on Google. And it's a combination of all of that. And people end up telling me, I love asking them how they heard about me. And it's always different every time. It's not always the same. Sometimes it's Google, sometimes it's radio, sometimes I saw your video. So
it's really just like a combination of all the things that you do.
It is, and the
compounds.
Thing is, I'm marketing using the lead generation system to get people to contact me. I don't ever cold call. I don't ever knock on doors. I don't call off the phone book. That never happens in my world.
And I love that's like just a standard, right? Like that's just a standard you have. It's like, here are the things that Barb will not ever do again. No more cold calling, door knocking, no more buying leads. So why not just buy the leads, right? Like, why not just buy the leads from Zillow and Realtor, like most agents do?
Well, first of all, Zillow in particular is sharing the leads with multiple agents. It's not unique. We've actually booked appointments with buyers and showed up there, and another agent showed up to talk to the same buyer.
Crazy.
So we don't do that because first, and then now Zillow is a real estate company, so they're giving the leads to their own agents. So
right, they're a competitor. They're doing the thing that they promised they wouldn't do, which is opening up real estate brokerages.
And Realtor.com isn't a real estate company, but they are competing in the unique selling proposition spaces, offering a connection to somebody that will buy their house.
Yeah, so, and if realtors watching this or listening to this, if you don't believe that's true, go to Realtor.com and you'll see, if you click on sellers, you'll see the choices they give you. And the choice that they really highlight is, I think the choices are like, you can list your home with a realtor and like maybe it'll sell, or option number 2 is you can instantly sell your home, and they make it sound more attractive. And then right there, they've got all their affiliates. So a lot of people don't know that Realtor.com is not owned by the National Association of Realtors. They sold it to a media company. And so they've perhaps got a different agenda, right? If you think Realtor.com is your friend, you better check out what we're saying here. So you realized, Barb, when we first met, that if you're going to be super successful as a realtor, the number one epiphany that you realize is, I must learn how to do business with strangers.
Right, exactly. I had no choice. I didn't really know a lot of people here. I sold my first house to somebody that was related to family, and then that's all I had. So I had to go out there and do this lead generation thing, and it's worked great from the beginning. It really has. It's amazing.
Well, that's your first epiphany. I would say your first epiphany is you realized, I got to do business with strangers, but you didn't lead gen the way most agents go about it. You realized there was a better way. Okay, now the better way is this. Okay, Barb Schlinker is her own marketing director. Okay, that she doesn't delegate it, she doesn't abdicate it. She is her marketing director. Now she may have people that help her with that. I know she's got a team, but it's never abdicated, right? It's something that it's the rainmaker activity. It's the number one thing that you do is lead generation. And so now we're going to get into how you do this. Okay, so you're a realtor watching this, listen to this right now. You should be really paying attention here, because Barb's going to explain how she's going to do almost 200 transactions this year. 100% of the buyers and sellers are going to call her. There's no door knocking, no cold calling, no buying leads from Zillow or Realtor or anybody else. She's going to explain to you how she generates leads, how she gets 100% of the buyers and sellers to contact her saying, hey, Barb, could you help me out? So which media do you want to start with?
Well, radio has been a really big moneymaker for me, but it's just using your direct response marketing in that media. So it's expensive. So I have to get vendors to help pay for it, which is really nice. And basically what we do is make the Craig Proctor type unique selling proposition offers. We use social proof like testimonials on the radio. It's very repetitive. And what's kind of neat is over time, these people are pre-sold to doing business with us. They're calling me. I don't even know who they are most of the time. I've actually gotten.
What do those phone calls sound like? When people they hear you on the radio and you do a ton of social media, but what does like the typical call in sound like?
Usually they'll just call the office and say, hey, we'd like to talk to Barb or somebody on her team about coming out and selling our home. So we have a script in place. We have a system for that. So the whole team is trained on how to take that call. It's like taking an order. We don't have to convince them of anything. They're calling me and asking me to come.
That's really nice, right? Really nice. You're getting your full commission. When people are coming to you, they respect you. They're not fighting you. They take your advice. And because they take your advice, whether they're buyers or sellers, they get the right results. And of course, then they become an advocate and they're sending you referrals. So you said the radio is the media, but the message, what you say on those radio commercials is the key. Because you could run a radio commercial, say, nothing of value, and then you might fall to the conclusion, well, I guess radio and television doesn't work. Okay, you're massively huge on YouTube. Let's talk about that next, because you were a little bit shy in the beginning when it came to creating your own video content, but not only have you overcome it, you're really good at it now.
Thank you. I got used to it. Really, the way this came about was another one of your coaching members, Sandy Casellas, who's wonderful. She's up there in Toronto, I think.
Yes.
And she asked a great question just a couple of years ago. And you asked me earlier why I stay in the system. There's always new cutting edge stuff coming out. The Craig Proctor students are way ahead of the rest of the industry as far as how to beat Wall Street at the game. Wall Street entered into our industry by Zillow Buying Homes, Open Door, Redfin, HomeLight, Realtor.com. All these companies that you think are your friends are working behind the scenes to take away our business or use our listings to generate leads so they make money on it. So,
okay, that's a huge point. Did everybody get that? We used to think, well, my competitor's the other agent in the office or the other agent across town. No, your competitor today are Wall Street giants who have deep pockets, billions of dollars, trying to disrupt the real estate industry for their own advantage. So we've got a lot of threats, but we also have opportunities. Like your company, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, is a disruption in the real estate space. Talk to us about why you switched to Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. What's that all about?
Well, because essentially my unique selling proposition is now my company name. So nobody could tell me I can't use that. Or if I'm going to show a house and I leave a business card, I won't have a complaint from soliciting their business. This is my company name. And it's probably the only company in the industry right now where the benefit of working with us is built into our company name. It was just a no-brainer for me, and it's really been fabulous. And it, before I had a kind of like a family name. My maiden name is Parker. My last name Schlinker, which somehow and historically was St. Clair. We named it Parker St. Clair, which didn't mean anything to the consumers. They would call in from the radio and they would, the team would answer Parker St. Clair Realty, and they're like, is this Barb's office? They had no idea what that meant. And so now they hear me say the unique selling proposition in my ads of Your Home Sold Guaranteed or I'll buy it. So if they answer the phone, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the Barb Schlinker team, they know exactly that they're getting what they called for.
Does everybody hear that? My advice to everyone is Google yourself. And usually if you Google yourself, a couple things. Number one, you can't find yourself, okay? Or it'll say, your name, ABC Realty, your name, Remax, whatever. But when you Google Barb, it comes up with her name in yourhomesoldguaranteedrealty.com. So her unique selling proposition, the benefit that the prospect's going to derive, immediately they see that on Google. Now, why is this important? Well, let me ask everybody. Before you buy anything, any service or product, how many of you go to Google? It's like the first thing you do. This is how people are finding realtors today. So having an awesome name and showing up in that Google search is vitally important, more important than it's ever been. It's going to even continue to be even more important as we go forward. So I want everyone to think about that. What is your unique selling proposition? What do you stand for? And when people Google you, can they find you? And do they understand immediately what makes you better and different than the other realtors? Because that's what happens when you Google Barb. Okay, we were talking about YouTube. You told me several years. You told me like you were a little bit shy about doing these videos, but you've overcome it. You produce awesome content. This is one of the things you're really great at. So let's talk about YouTube.
So when this one conference I went to, Sandy Casellas asked the question, which is a great question. She goes, how come I cannot find me as the listing agent online on my listing? right? And I had just that month had a red hot listing where we had 100 people at the open house. There was a line out the door. We filled the cul-de-sac, but I was getting very few calls from buyers on my own listing. So I Googled it and I discovered, oh, you couldn't find me as the listing agent on that listing on page 1, on page 10, anywhere. And you know, when people search online, if they find what they're looking for on page 1, they're not going to page 2. So I'm like, this is insane. This is wrong. Zillow, Realtor, all these big box firms are beating me to page 1 of Google. My competitors are taking my buyer leads on my hottest listings. So I said, okay, I knew that Google owned YouTube and I knew that Google liked video. And still to this day, very few of my competitors are doing any video. They don't like doing video. And it's really not about what you look like or what you sound like. It's about what you're giving to the consumer because they're hungry for information. They don't do this every day. So the way it started was I sat down, and I'm not a techie person. I mean, I could barely make it through, but I spent a whole weekend studying on YouTube because my 26-year-old now son told me, he goes, if you want to know about something, you just go up on YouTube and figure it out.
That's great. So I don't know anything about YouTube. So you actually went to YouTube to learn how to master YouTube.
Yeah, I wanted to learn how do I get to page 1 of Google with my videos, okay? And I was doing property videos. I still do property videos. I did one yesterday. So I call them my Vanna White video tour, where I show up at the house, I do an intro, I maybe talk on the key rooms, and then I use my really cool Samsung Note that has it has a really good wide angle camera, and I just glide through the house. It's very simple, very inexpensive. It takes me maybe 30 minutes of my time, but so what I spent the weekend learning search engine optimization, which to me has been a very mysterious thing. I remember years ago, I paid somebody $4,000 for search engine optimization and got nothing from it.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, there has to be a way to do this. So the people on YouTube are happy to tell you how to do this. So I spent the whole weekend figuring out step by step exactly how to get my listings with my video on page 1 of Google. And I did it, it worked, and I still do it to this day. So I do the video first before I activate the MLS because all the big box firms and Zillow and Realtor are going to push that video down over time. So I launch first, so I'm first to market related to that address because I know that when buyers drive by houses, sometimes they don't call off the sign anymore. The younger generation doesn't like talking on the phone. So they will Google the address while they're sitting in front of it to see what they can find. And then we've got an asset. We don't just have a video where they're Googling, but we've got something we can put on our website, all over social media, on my Google My Business profile. I stick it in the MLS, even though it's very branded so far this year. I haven't been busted for it, but I know it's going to happen. But I put it everywhere. I put it on Realtor.com. They don't care if it's a branded video. I put it up on Zillow. And I get a lot of buyers telling me, I saw your video. I appreciate you doing that, because with the still pictures, they know we're shooting around the ugly stuff, right? They know they're not really getting the full picture, and they tell me they can't get the floor plan as well. So that was the beginning of it. And then I started expanding and doing other content things to position myself as an expert in the industry, okay, and to create a subtle lead generation by educating the public about buying and selling homes. So I use all of your wonderful direct response ads. You've got some fabulous ads like 27 tips to sell your home for fast and top dollar, or the 10 best buys. All these are great ads that we can do a video on, and people watch them and they reach out to me because of it.
Yeah, what Barb is referring to is on our members site, we have all of this Craig Proctor content. And really the secret with direct response marketing, you probably all know this, but the secret is to offer buyers and sellers something they really want. So we're not just promoting, Barb the realtor. Barb is on video on YouTube and all over social media. She's talking about questions that buyers and sellers have about buying and selling real estate, or problems or challenges. So Barb's listed a few of them. So all this content exists, and for those of you that are not Craig Proctor members yet, we hope you will be. But I would challenge you to do this. Think about the most common questions that buyers and sellers ask you on a day-to-day basis, right? Like they might ask you, hey, when is a good time to buy or sell in our marketplace? Or how do I buy another home when I already own a home? Or how do I get the very best financing? Or how do I pick the best real estate agent? So just think about the questions that you're asked on a daily basis, and then go live. And really, it's just, you don't need expensive equipment. All you need is your smartphone. It's weird in the beginning if you haven't done video, but after a while, you're not thinking about that. You just as long as you focus on really good content for buyers and sellers, they'll love it. And then you'll have some little call to action where you'll make an offer. Like for example, today, what we're going to do, if you enjoy what you're seeing here, Barb has a little gift that at the end of our podcast here, we're going to offer you some material, some examples of what she does, and there'll be a clickable link that we'll type into the comments, and you can check out actual examples. See, what I just did is I just made you an offer, right? I'm offering something. Like if you're interested in this, you're going to want to get this information, and you're going to click on the link. So that's all that you have to do. Think about what buyers and sellers want, and you might offer them a free report on, I don't know, the 11 biggest home inspection mistakes or pitfalls that home sellers make, right? The 5 things you need to know about selling your Colorado Springs home before you list it for sale. So it's really easy to come up with these great topics. I guess the hard part, Barb, is just getting over the self-consciousness of, flipping on the camera on the phone and start talking. So in the beginning, that was kind of weird for you, but you realize the power of this, and you realize, you know what, I've got no choice. I've got to get over that and just roll with it. And I think what happens is, very few of us are really natural and good. I mean, some of us are, right? Some of us, they turn on the camera. We know people like that, Barbara. They turn on the camera and you'll wind them up in Zoom. But for most of us, we acquire a taste for it. It's like when I started public speaking, I was very nervous in the beginning, and then after a while, you're not thinking about it. So video is the future. Okay, so everyone needs to know video is the way of marketing in the future. Not even in the future, it's like right now. Okay, it might be the future for you, but it's happening right now, and that's why Barb is so successful. So your videos are like everywhere. Talk about outside of YouTube. Once you create this content, how do you repurpose it? What do you do with that content?
Well, we're constantly repurposing it. So like today, I have a radio show that I do as well. And it's a 1-hour show that comes on Saturday, but we record it using a Zoom meeting, and I have the virtual assistants do PowerPoint slides, and it's all these topics that you give us. Like the one today, we're going to talk about the top 9 questions that you should ask before you hire a real estate agent. Okay, so that's one of your products that we're using, and so I did a segment about that, and then I'm offering a free report so they can get the top 9 questions. And so what we do is we record that YouTube live, then my virtual assistant takes it and breaks it up into 4 segments. And then every week we highlight 7, what I call snippets. And they're shorter videos, because certain platforms won't tolerate a 10-minute video or a 5-minute video. So
give us an example of some of those platforms. So and this is, by the way, what we're doing right here. Here, as you're watching me and Barb, this will be taken and it will be chopped into different parts, and it will be distributed all over social media. So you're just creating the content once, but Like, for example, Instagram. So what do you have to do to get it onto Instagram?
Instagram is less than a minute, I think, is the criteria. You can make it longer by doing Instagram stories. That's one of them. Also, our Google My Business profile is huge. Google is still the 900-pound gorilla online. Everything is searchable on Google. So we use that free platform to break up these little kind of highlights of the radio show that are also on video and put it in little snippets on the Google My Business profile. So it can be searchable. So it's a little short topic about buying and selling real estate. And we do those every week. So on average, in addition to my property videos and the radio show, typically we're publishing about 14 videos a week right now without doing anything extra. I've got a virtual assistant that does all the production work. I'm just the talking head, essentially.
You're the celebrity. So you shoot your video, the team takes care of editing it and posting it everywhere.
Right.
And now, how much content are you creating every week?
About 14, at least 14 videos a week. I think I'm.
So is that like one video you do it split into 14, or are you doing a bunch of different videos that are then split?
So with the show, we go YouTube Live. So that breaks up into 4 separate segments. And then we'll take one of those segments that had kind of the best highlights and do 7 of those. And then usually I'm doing a couple of property videos. And then on another station, I do Free Report Fridays. So we started recording that on video. It's about a 3-minute segment that we can break in half. So we break that up and actually put that on Google My Business. And also, blogging is really, really big. Now, for me, blogging takes a lot of time because you have to write stuff, right? But you can take those pieces and create a blog out of it because Google searches blogs. So we can combine that with a video, and the virtual assistants do all that work. I just give them the radio show and a few things that I'm doing, and they run from there.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're next going to talk about team building because what Barb is just described to you works so well. She couldn't possibly go out to all the appointments. Now, I know that sounds crazy, right? If you're a solo agent, you're thinking, holy cow, she's going to sell over 200 homes. But a lot of the heavy lifting is done by her team, so she can have this life outside of real estate. If maybe you have a team right now and you're interested in how to grow a bigger and more successful team. So we're going to segue into that in 1 minute. But first of all, I promised you a few minutes ago, Barb is going to send me some content that we're going to post in the comments below. We're going to have a link. The link's a big, long one here. So I know no one's going to write this down, but just so you know, this is what it's going to say in the comments below. It's proctoroffer.com/video-marketing. I don't know why we made that so long because I know no one can write that down. But anyway, what are we going to be giving those that are watching this here? What kind of content can they look forward to receiving?
Well, that actually is a very simple step-by-step on how to do videos. We've got simple tools like the phone. Most people have those Apple AirPods. I don't use an Apple phone, but I use Apple AirPods. So if you're doing video, especially on property videos, the audio is much better if you just hook those up Bluetooth. You don't need really anything fancy.
Right, and your hair hides them anyway, so nobody sees it. Yeah.
So you need that, and then the scripting. So a lot of people really get hung up on what to say.
Right.
It doesn't for a property. My Vanna White video, I'm just talking about how wonderful the house is. And at the beginning and the end, I'm making an offer. If you'd like to get a private preview, please call the number on the screen. And at the end, to find out all of our upcoming homes that you can't find elsewhere online, go to barbhasthebuyers.com. So I'm making at least 2 offers during the video. The rest of the time, I'm just talking about the house, which we do anyway in the course of normal real estate. The other content like 27 tips to sell your home fast and for top dollar, the best buy of the week, those kind of things are really easy to put out there. They're now that I have well over 500, probably 520 public videos, it's fun to watch which ones get viewed and which ones are not.
That's right. I mean, you're just constantly experimenting, and then all you have to do is go in and look, a couple weeks or a month later. I guess you're doing it on a regular basis to find out what of your content is working the best, and then that's easy. Just do more of that, right?
Exactly. It's like, well, the public likes that. Let's keep doing more of that topic. But really, you can talk about anything. We do a video promo of our open houses. We have an open house strategy that we learned from the Craig Proctor system that's fabulous. Gets all the buyers in there at once, creates a lot of demand. So we have typically bidding wars on our listings, and it's really a great selling point for sellers. Buyers love it because they have the time and the opportunity. They don't miss out on the perfect property. And then we're collecting data as they're coming in. We make them all register. So we promote that, and not only the open house that happened, but also when it's coming. So we'll do a little short one about, coming up this fantastic Best Buy of the Week. You'll be able to come and see it Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Okay, so everybody, I could literally talk to Barb for hours and hours, and we do at our big live conferences. That's why they're 3 days long. So what we asked Barb to do is put together a little gift for all of you that are watching or listening this. So it's proctoroffer.com/video-marketing. And we'll have somebody type that into the comments. So just click on that and check out what it's free, no obligation, just good information. That's what we do here in Craig Proctor World. We just give you good information. Like, we hope you're enjoying this. You didn't pay a penny for this. We're just paying it forward. And we're hoping that you're interested in the Craig Proctor system. And by the way, if you are, you can book a call with my team just by going to proctorcall.com. We call it, it's not just any old call, we call it a breakthrough call, where we will ask you a bunch of questions about where you are in your business and where it is you want to go. Usually, Barb, there's an obstacle that people have, right? Like, most of us have a pretty good idea of where we are, and we have a vision of where we'd like to go. So the obvious question is, well, why aren't we there? If you know where you are and you know where it is you want to go, why aren't you doing it? So there's usually some kind of obstacle. That's what the Craig Proctor Breakthrough Call will help you with, is what is that obstacle? And then we'll give you some free advice on how you could eliminate that obstacle. And imagine what your life would look like if you could actually go to where it is you want to go and remove this barrier, this obstacle that's holding you back. So all you have to do to register for a free obligation breakthrough call is go to proctorcall.com. That's my name, proctorcall.com. You'll see a link for that below as well. Okay, so let's get back to team building. So here goes Barb. She's marketing. She's become the marketing director, and there's more business coming in and more business coming in and more business. And foolishly, like most of us, Barb, you're thinking in the beginning, I can do this, right? I can do this. And you tried, and you worked harder, and you worked harder, and you worked harder. And now you've expanded your team, and now you're able to serve hundreds of families. How does the team look like now? So break down what everybody does. And you're actually, you said before we got started today, you even need more people. Your business is even outgrowing your existing team. So how do you break up all this work that needs to be done? You're the marketing director, you're the talent. What does everybody else do?
Well, you have created and actually your beautiful wife, Catherine, has created the team system manual, which is fabulous. So I keep referring back to that because my first hire actually was an admin person. It wasn't another real estate agent, because I knew that it wasn't a good use of my time to put homes in the MLS or, I don't know, just all the admin stuff. It wasn't really what I wanted to do. I love focusing on serving customers. So that was the first hire. And then we reached a point of having an overflow of leads coming in. That was the next problem. It's like, I can't get to all these leads. I was calling as many as I could, but I just had too many. So I made the mistake actually of just giving the leads out to other agents. I remember you talking to me about that a couple of years back and saying, you guys stop doing that. You need to book the appointment, hand them an appointment, not a lead. Because what I saw happen when we reached this point of an overflow of leads is the agents would call the lead, they'd get a few on the hook, they'd go out with them, they get busy doing the deals, and then they close them, and then they're out of business again. So they had this roller coaster of income, which is how I started before I met you. I'd have a deal here and there, but I couldn't figure out how to grow. So your team system manual is probably one of many extremely valuable things within the organization. So right now, I have an operations manager, so she helps me a lot with getting all the listings ready to go. We do a lot of preparation before we go live. Pictures have become hugely important because we know that buyers eliminate homes online. So we have a system and a team that makes sure that they're prepared for photos. So when we present their home to the market, the buyers want it. They see it as being more valuable than the asking price. So she helps with all the admin for that, and also kind of hunches over the staff in the office. I've got a few new young people, and they're so smart. They're exciting, because they really come up with these ideas. Technology is easy for them. I'm 64, so technology is always a climb for me. But Erin is my customer service manager. She also deals with a lot of calls in the office. So she's in charge of following up with the appointments that are booked, making sure that the inside sales agent and the agents are talking about what happened on the appointment. That was a big problem in our business, that we would serve up a ready-to-act buyer and or seller to our agents, and we didn't know what happened. So I had to bring in somebody to kind of pull that together. And then I just added a marketing person, helping me make sure every piece of the marketing checklist gets done, and the clients are getting an email from me saying, look, this is what we're doing to promote your house if it doesn't sell. So they know it's not us, it's just something else is wrong, like the price or something. So, and my next hire is gonna be a lead manager. That's something I probably should have started with, but somebody to really make sure that when a lead comes in, that all the steps are taken care of. Like if they ask for a free report, we comply and send it, that there's a scheduled follow-up call after we send them the free report. All these things, that needs to be managed a little bit better. So that's my project for this summer, is to get that done.
It's like it's never done, right? When you're growing your team, because your business is constantly expanding, you're just finding better ways to serve your clients, you're updating your systems. And you're having so much more fun now too. Last week, you just got back from Cancun, Mexico, from one of our Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty conferences. And if you'd like more information on anything that Barb has been talking about here today, don't be shy. Reach out to her. What's the best way to contact you, Barb? How would people do that?
Probably the easiest way to find me. I kind of hide my cell phone number just to manage the phone a little bit better. But if you just go to barbhasthebuyers.com, I'm way more remembered by that than anything else. Or you can just go on YouTube and look at my YouTube channel. If you want to learn how to do these videos, the scripts are right there in the description. Just go to YouTube and Google Barb Schlinker, and you'll find all of them there. And you can please subscribe to my channel if you want to watch them pop up all the time. I'm always happy to have people watching.
Now, so you've branded your name in many different ways. Colorado Barb, Barb Has the Buyers. So Barb Schlinker. Even I have trouble with it, as you know. It's you've just, if you have a name that's sometimes people mispronounce. Watch what Barb's done with this, right? Barb Has the Buyers. There's the benefit right there. Right. BarbHasTheBuyers.com. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. The benefit is in the name of the company, Colorado Barb. So you've just done an awesome job branding yourself, and everybody in Colorado Springs knows who you are. Yeah. You came into the area, like you said, you didn't know anybody. You didn't understand marketing. You didn't understand technology. But this is just, encouraging for everybody who perhaps thinks, well, maybe someone else can do it, but I can't do it. Barb has not only learned all of this, she's a great sharer, which we really pride ourselves in the Craig Proctor system. I don't know, we do just an amazing job of attracting incredible people who will share. I always hear this from real estate agents that have come over from other coaching organizations. Like, oh my God, Craig Proctor's got the best stuff, and his people are great sharers. There's more sharing here than anything I've ever been involved in before. So, Barb, I want to thank you so much for spending the last 45 minutes with you. I know you're super busy, and you always are a great presenter. We have Barb speak at our conferences on a regular basis. So, Barb, give us your contact information one more time before we wrap it up.
Sure, you can go up on YouTube and Google Barb Schlinker. It's spelled SCHLINKER. Or you can go to barbhasthebuyers.com. If you want to reach out on email, you can go to coloradobarb@gmail.com, or my cell phone. I'll give that out, 719-499-3334.
Barb, thanks so much for doing this. Barb, you're the real deal, an inspiration to hopefully everyone that watches it, likes us, will share this. Okay, let us know in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts. Amazing content. And don't forget to click on the link below, and you can get Barb's gift to you. Check it out. It's all great information. If you'd like to book a free breakthrough call with me and my team, go to proctorcall.com. We'll have a link below for that as well. Barb, thank you so much for doing this. Have yourself an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you real soon. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye now. Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're gonna see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's gonna let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.